Never perfect.
Man.
Always fun.
We're going drinking! Yeah!
Deanna and Justin in the moment.
I just want to point out that my dog was laying in bed until I had to press record, and now all of a sudden he's chewing a bone right behind me, and I don't know if you can hear it.
Going ham. No, it's not bad. You can't really hear it.
He's really loud.
We both discovered that we were listening to Steely Dan before we got on here.
It's so strange. You just started singing Dirty Work, and I was like, I was just listening to that song. How is that?
I they're like 70s, right? I think they're like 75. I try and classify like that era of music, but those specific type of bands. And like to me, when I listen to them, it's just tweed jackets and cigarettes. Like that, but it's not like you see somebody smoking a cigarette, you go, oh, they're smoking a cigarette. You see somebody smoking a cigarette and you're like, oh, that's just like they were born to smoke. So I feel like that's what Steely Dan reminds me of. And like very burnt orange blankets. That's that type of music, that genre of music.
Like rusty colored couches.
Yeah, and just so many I can't emphasize cigarettes enough. That music makes you want to smoke. That's
Steely Dan is so good. I feel like they're underrated.
They're a rock band, but like I just don't know what you would call them. Jazz, funk, soul, and rock. So cigarettes. Like you go see a jazz band, like there's a stream of smoke, right?
Yeah.
Funk band, the cigarettes in the guitar, like it's on that. Soul,
cigarettes and toe-tapping.
That's how you get that nice soul. And then rock, everybody smoked. My buddy saw Guns N' Roses at the airport yesterday, and he said they have 50 bags with them. And I go, I would say 50% of them are smokes. Just unfiltered American spirits.
Wow. I wonder what they were doing there. Like they're not touring.
Smoking cigarettes. It was not here. It was in Arizona. But
but still, like what are they up to? You know?
Smoking cigarettes. That's it. I just feel like it's like a time filler. I had a boss once that was like when I was a kid. She was in her 60s when she was my boss. This is like 15 years ago. She's like, everybody smoked but me, so I would just go outside and have a soda break because everybody had a smoke break. And I was like, that's pretty smart. You're pretty progressive.
I actually thought about that the other day because I was pulling up to work and I saw one of my coworkers outside having a smoke break. And I was like, I don't take breaks. Like I just stand in the studio the whole darn time unless I have to go to the bathroom. Like it's kind of a little unfair that I'm not a smoker.
It equaled out because we have YouTube now and TikTok, so that could be like your smoke break. You just like
that's true, but I feel like
equally as addicting.
I feel like I just need to step outside and have like like a fresh air break.
Yeah, that's it, or secondhand smoke break.
Yeah,
Sounds like a song. Secondhand smoke break. That's a good band name.
That's a great band name.
Who doesn't smoke cigarettes, but encourages the crowd to smoke cigarettes.
Or honestly, smoke break.
I'm trying to think of other like Steely Dan type of like bands that just remind me of tweed jackets and smokes. Let's see. I want to do bands similar. Let's see what comes up. Michael McDonald, definitely.
100.
Kenny Loggins, that's a cigarette band.
They remind me more of corduroy than cigarettes.
Corduroy pants, tweed jacket. Like the Doobie Brothers, when I hear them.
Love the Doobie Brothers.
Like, I would say like Crosby, Stills, Nash, sometimes Young, sometimes.
You had to like affiliate these bands with a fabric or a textile.
It's a lot of tweed. But
I feel like Earth, Wind, and Fire would be silk.
Silk and sequins. Like a lot of 80s rock bands, leather. I mean, that's pretty. Judas Priest kind of covered that.
Yeah.
But
Like
yeah,
speaking
those
of Guns N' Roses, I feel like they would be, like worn in cotton, like t-shirts with holes.
a lot of denim,
Yeah.
like full jorts, not jorts. Jorts were. There's only a few bands I associate with jorts, and one of them would be Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
And Corn, but Corn has the Adidas thing. I gotta let the dog out. She was sleeping, and she
Oh
just
my
got.
God. It's
This
every time. She just wants to be the star. Really,
is
that's
my
all
life.
it is.
Chasing the squirrel.
Well, Murph is the third cast member of this podcast. So at some point she had to make an appearance.
We had a buck clear the fence, and then it was in the yard, and then it was trying to get out. It got out, but it was trying to jump right on my dad's car.
Oh my gosh.
So there was a slight panic with the deer. We've had like two. We have deer, but we have a fenced-in yard. But they can clear it. Those things can jump.
Dang.
But like my friends sit outside all day trying to kill deer, and we just get them in the yard, enclosed. Like we're not in the woods; they're just here in the suburbs.
Can I tell you, I saw a story the other day, and I was just kind of like surprised that this word that I thought was not so widely used, like I thought it was just kind of like a mildly trendy word, is now being used in headlines.
Okay.
And I want to know like who decided that this is the official word for fat cats. But the headline was Chonky Cat Brothers Find Forever Home.
Oh, Chonky was a meme, like derived from Chunky.
It was?
Yeah, and Big Chungus. This is like deep internet stuff.
This is all new to me. I just know that I know the word chonky because that's what my sister calls the cats. And like I thought it was, like a her thing. And then I heard other people say it, but I didn't think it was as popular like to be a headline.
I think it's like, all right, so like chunky we know, but chunky has a negative connotation, so you lovingly say chonky.
Chonky, yeah, it's definitely a little bit more
endearing way, they say, plump or chubby.
That's the word. Yeah, endearing, for sure.
I love looking up etymologies of things. Let's see. I'm almost, let's see. Chonky. Now usually of an animal, especially a pet, overweight, fat, affectionately. In 2009, that phone looks hella chonky. I think that was the first time. 2018, I took a nap and woke up to my cat laying on top of my chest. I could not move or breathe, thanks to my chonky boy. Boy spelt B-O-I.
B-O-I, yeah. Yeah, why are we doing that?
This is from someone. This is 2021. While dieting, obese pets should be done under veterinary guidance. Vaughn says we can help ensure that they don't get chonky in the first place. These are how they, so it comes from chunky. That's
okay, so chonky's a thing now. It's an actual term.
Earliest use, 1930, but it looks like typography error. Typographical. There we go. I just found that one.
Wait, so you said 1930?
They said it was a spelling error.
Still.
It says this is the sentence. The charitable spirit of the Chonky Cleveland Clouter, which is an insane sentence.
See, that's 5 times fast.
Chonky Cleveland Clouter. But it was a typo. But there we go.
I finally watched Baby Reindeer. You finally got in my head enough.
Did you watch the whole thing?
I did, and I just have to tell you that it is confirmed you like really messed up stuff.
So does everybody because it won a ton of awards.
I had no idea about this thing until you told me about. What was the first one you told me about?
I don't know what.
It had a longer title. I watched it finally. Oh no, Saltburn. It wasn't a longer title. I watched that like last year.
Oh, Killing of a Sacred Deer.
No, I haven't seen that yet.
Don't.
See,
but do watch it. Don't, but do watch it.
Don't, but do. See, this is the kind of stuff that really upsets me because you talk about it and then you like kind of convince me in a backwards way to watch it. And then I end up going, what the F am I watching?
I'm honestly a great gaslighter. Like I will gaslight you into watching something very disturbing.
I do have to admit, though, as much as I thought it was totally messed up, we're back on Baby Reindeer now. At the end, like I'm not giving anything away to anyone who hasn't seen it, but the very last minute of the show, when it all came together, I was like, oh my God.
I'll have to watch the last minute again. I'm trying to remember.
It was like the cycle continues.
Oh yeah.
I
Now
was like,
I watched it, and the woman in the show was like a top 10 acting thing I've ever seen. She was insane. She was so good. That's why I liked the show the most. Then she won all the. I tweeted that should win all the awards, and then her sister liked it, and then she wound up winning all the awards.
I want to meet this woman in person because I feel like she might actually kind of be real.
The actor or the lady it's based on?
The actor.
It's weird seeing her in real life, like online, posing with the guy, because your brain. This is why I know it was effective, because you see her accept the awards and you're like, what the hell is happening? She should be the lady, the crazy lady. Yeah. This is why you cast unknown actors, I think. You kind of just get them in there. I mean, she wasn't unknown, but this is like obviously the role.
Yeah. It was wild. I mean, I do recommend it.
Let's look up other. Let me see most disturbing movies. I want to see how many I've seen. Most disturbing movies.
You've probably seen all of them. You could write a disturbing movie.
IMDb most. I probably could. I haven't watched that. See, some of these are just straight up snuff films, so I won't be watching those. But if I go on Reddit, that's usually where like the people that are insane like me exist. Okay, Human Centipede 1 and 2 have seen both. Bone Tomahawk have seen. You should watch it. Old Boy, Korean version. You should watch it.
What was the second one? Tomahawk. What'd you say?
Bone Tomahawk.
What is that?
Oh, actually, here's maybe where it started. In college, I watched Requiem for a Dream.
Oh, I do love that.
See, okay, but that's like base level. These get like progressively worse from there.
Exactly. Like I thought that was messed up. I had another thing coming.
Teeth, seen it. Hostel, seen it. Mother, seen it. Hereditary, didn't love it. Midsummer.
Haven't seen any of these.
One of my favorite movies. Midsummer, so good, so good.
You mean Midsummer as in like Midsummer? When I see the word, I want to say Midsummer. Okay.
Midsummer.
That's what I want to say when I see it.
See, but Clockwork Orange was kind of messed up, but like kind of like light messing up you.
Yeah, but that was like a required reading in middle school.
Yeah, but it was. The movie I really enjoyed.
I don't remember the movie.
Zodiac, that's a great movie. Let's see. I'm going through these. Faces of Death. Have seen. Don't watch that.
What? When do you have time to watch all these?
I'm not married. I don't have children. I live alone most of the time. So yeah. Yeah, there's pretty good list. There's some really messed up ones on here that I wouldn't suggest. But if you do see one, go see Old Boy and then report back.
Oh God.
You won't love it. But Killing of a Sacred Deer is good. Mostly because Barry Keoghan's like the thing now. He's like dating Sabrina Carpenter. He was in Saltburn. He was in Killing of a Sacred Deer. But yeah.
Should I just follow him and his work?
And then the other one was he's in the Banshees of like Idishire. A lot of people told me to watch that, so I have to watch that. I don't think it's as disturbing. I'll probably still like it, but not as much as something that will really mess with me. Like I enjoyed. Did you watch Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
Yeah, like when the Red Wedding and they all died. I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah, but I guess it was just a little bit more mainstream that it was digestible.
That's like light disturbing to me. Like that was light, but I liked it a lot.
Disturbing light.
Like I want to watch. I love movies where nothing happens. Maybe that's why I really like the movies that are messed up. Like it just exists.
Oh boy.
Some would call it a period piece, but I don't really classify them as that. Like nothing happens and nothing happens.
No,
and I'm confused. They just are
a
there.
period piece is when it's like obviously set in a certain time frame.
I don't know how to classify the things that I like. Stuff that will make you think a lot. Eraserhead. I've seen that. It's pretty, don't love it. But yeah, okay, that's enough of those. I'm going through this list. Also.
I'm going to have to take a look at this list. I don't know about this.
I didn't suggest them. I just said, maybe you should check them out one time.
Google the most disturbing films of all
time. And if you want to like really get into it and just dive head first, just watch Terrifier.
I don't know.
You're gonna hate it. Don't watch it. But yeah, okay.
These friends that I made here in the apartment complex
are swingers. Are they swingers?
No. It's two single girls. We became fast friends. One of them is moving out. She just bought a place, and so we were helping her move the other day. And we're in her apartment helping her pack up stuff. And I got there a little later than the other girl. And so the other girl already had like a little pile of things in the corner that she was taking from the girl moving. Because you know how you go through stuff and you're like, oh, take it. I don't even want it anymore. Like,
yeah.
So she had these pants. They both subscribed to this clothing delivery service and like a rental. And she goes, oh, they're from Newly. And she goes, so I have to return them at some point, but like they didn't fit me. So take them, wear them, have fun, and then like give them back to me before this date. And so she takes them and she's like, she tries them on. She goes, how do they fit? And I was like, they fit really well. She goes, oh, I don't know. They might be like a little loose on the waist. And I said, well, then they would fit me perfectly because you're smaller than me. I was like, so give them to me. And she goes, all right, I'll wear them. And when I'm done with them, I'll give them to you. And the other girl goes, it's a Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, like in real life. Now I think I understand where it came from. It was just girls sharing clothes.
Did you go through her crap? Because that's how you find how people really are.
She gave me an espresso machine. Nespresso.
She gave you an espresso machine?
Yeah. Like
what does she do for a living? This is not light work. This is not light work here, Deanna. That's an expense. The pods are like $1.70 a piece.
I know, but here's the catch. Like, okay, so yeah, she has like a pretty great job. She works for a company called In My Sundays. It's a pajama company. They're like $100 pajamas. And I think she's director of product development. But the company is owned by like a reality show TV star.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, but on the backside of that, she got the Nespresso for like a third of what it actually cost because it was a Target like circle deal or something, and she had another coupon on top of that, so the thing only cost her like $75 versus its regular $230. I think
they're expensive.
They are
expensive though.
But she got it for like a great deal, and she doesn't drink coffee anymore. And I was like, I'll take it.
Here's something. I don't know if I trust people who don't drink coffee anymore or caffeine in general. If you have a medical condition, that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But like I have people who don't, and they're just like, I don't drink caffeine. And I'm like, are you okay?
I don't know how people don't do caffeine. I know a lot of people who like prefer a green tea or a Diet Coke over a coffee.
It has a lot of caffeine.
It does, but I think the whole problem is that like coffee bean can really tear up some people's stomachs, so they like stay away from it.
That's fair. I like to drink it because it keeps me going.
I love coffee.
What was I just gonna say? Oh, if you want to like get close to God, go to Starbucks and get what's the big one? The Trenta or whatever it is of green tea, but say no water.
Oh.
Like if you have to, let's say you have to pass a drug test or you just want to get like a $7 colonic. If you drink that thing, number one, you will shake. You will sweat. You will shake, but you will feel great. Your body will clear itself out. It is. I drank it before a long ride because my old boss was like, hey, like I used to work at Starbucks. Here's the key to get the most caffeine. I'm not. This is like so much caffeine. He's like, get it without water. I thought I was going to die. I did like 90 down to the shore. I thought I was going to die. How much caffeine in a...
That's too much for me. I have like 1.5 cups of coffee a day, and I'm good with that.
Caffeine in a Starbucks green tea. Now, if you just get no water, I wonder what that is. Green tea. See, this says only 25 milligrams. That's iced. I don't know, but this thing got me freaking It got me moving and my insides moving. So
I don't know, man.
If you ever got a flush, Starbucks green tea, no water, big size.
My caffeine intake severely decreased when we stopped working in the morning.
Oh, mine is the same.
Like I don't need nearly as much caffeine now because I'm actually sleeping 8 hours, like a normal person.
If I don't, I at some point I'll just give it all up. Not life. I'm just talking caffeine, or both. We don't know.
At some point I'll just call it quits.
Yeah, but like it's the same. I mean, I need it to go. I like it. I'm addicted to it. It is an addictive substance. It is a drug, and I love it.
Yeah, I mean, it can have that effect if you have too much of it. Or if you're dependent. I do get a caffeine headache. If I don't have at least a cup of coffee or like a sip by 2 p.m., I'm like, my head is pounding.
That's why I'm like, I don't want to go through that. I don't want to, I'd rather have joy. I'd rather be joyous.
Yeah.
Than go through caffeine withdrawal in the middle of a week. Like
it's not fun. It's not. I mistakenly did it last week. I went for a walk with one of the girls. And we took the dogs on a trail, and it was like a 3-mile trail. And I didn't realize how late it was going to be when we got done. And I just kind of like woke up a little late. I got moving kind of late. I hadn't had a coffee. And by the time we were done the walk, my head was throbbing. And I was like, I need a coffee. This is the problem.
It could have been the nature. It could have been the nature giving you a headache.
As soon as I had a coffee, I was fine.
The problem is when I drink the caffeine, I have to pee so much. I pee all the time anyway because I'm just like slugging water.
You do pee a lot.
But I like to pee. They say to hold it, but I like to pee. Someone told me to hold it.
I don't think you're supposed to do that.
So then when I get older, I don't have to pee a lot. And I said, when I get older, I'm just going to pee myself.
No, if you hold it too much, that can lead to bigger
problems. No. They said pee when you have to pee. I got that backwards. So I like to pee a lot. This is why I get the end of the row at concerts and games. I look where the bathroom is. I Google where the bathroom is before I go to restaurants. Like I'm scoping it out. Like if I gotta, ABP always be peeing. That's how I live my life.
I know it's your motto.
And it's some people thinking you have diabetes. I got blood work. I don't have diabetes. I just pee a lot. I have small blood.
Speaking of blood work, you know what kind of like grinds my gears a little bit? I know people mean well by it, but when people like give you this unsolicited advice or make assumptions on your health based off what they know, like what information you've fed them at that moment, instead of asking questions like, is it this? Have you had this done? Have you looked into this? Instead of that, they're like, you should do this. You should look into this. Like, I don't know how many times people have told me that I should definitely look into my thyroid. I'm like, I've had so much blood work done, like full panels of blood work to figure out why my body's operating like a 70-year-old woman on the inside. It's not my thyroid. Like it's been proven my thyroid is totally fine. But why do people do that? Why do they give unsolicited medical advice?
Dudes are different. Like my buddy's like, I got high cholesterol. Then we went to the bar and he got a burger and onion rings. And I said, maybe don't get that. That was the end of my advice.
Really? I don't know if this has been like a gender discrimination. I feel like everyone will come at me with some kind of unsolicited advice. No, maybe it's mostly women.
I'm just like, I mean, we're all gonna die. Do it the way you want to do it, but like maybe the onion rings aren't the option. Maybe we can just have the sandwich. You know what I mean? Like small choices.
I don't know. I just feel like when someone tells me that something's wrong and they're looking into something, I ask a couple more questions like, have you like experienced this? Have you checked into this? I don't go, oh, you need to check. This sounds exactly like, stop diagnosing me. You're not a medical professional.
I don't know. People say like my buddy, his shoulders hurt, and he went to the doctor that I went to, and he's like, I got to get surgery, and I went, make sure you do the rehab. And then that was it because we had the same surgery. That was my advice.
That makes a little bit more sense, though.
And checking people on onion rings. I'm like, dude,
I feel like that advice is founded.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of.
You're not like, oh, it's probably deteriorating ligaments in your, like, get out of here.
No, I'll just be like, oh, maybe it's this, and then that's the end of the conversation. Like we're old and everything hurts. Like that's just how life is. You get old.
A problem.
I mean, my shoulder sounds like a creaking door now, but
Do you know how many things on my body pop?
I love the pop though. I love a good. My knee pops, and it echoes. I love when people can pop. I work with a girl, and she can like pop everything, and it gives me like satisfaction. Maybe that's my ASMR. Popping. Like my middle fingers, I can pop them twice. I'm like, this is the best.
When I wake up in the morning and I do like a big morning stretch, my right ankle pops so loud. It could wake the whole house.
I used to be able to do my ears, but I can't do it anymore. And every time I say this, people always text me and they're like, how did you do the ears? It's like a vertigo thing. I don't know. But you just like pull down and out, and it's like my ears get all clogged up. So
that is wild.
I think I'm a heavy waxer. I think that's why I secrete too much wax.
Well, we did do the earwax candle in the past.
Which was fake. Which was totally fake. I wanted it to be real.
Yeah, I don't think they're real.
I wanted it to be real. Now, I think with heat, you can probably suck the wax out. Like after a hot shower, you clean your ears. Ooh. It's flowing. I can feel it coming out of my ear.
I was a little disappointed in the wax candle. Not gonna lie.
But like a hot shower, then I'm like, oh, so nice, so nice. It's so good.
Did you ever have such like bad earwax that it just starts oozing out of your ear on its own?
Yeah, they were like, you should get adult tubes. I'm like, I'm 25. I'm not doing that. I thought that was for toddlers.
Because that's happened to me once or twice.
I'll be laying down and I feel it fall out. And I'm like, ooh, that's nice.
Yeah. It's the strangest feeling though. Like it usually happens like when I wake up. It's not something that's happened often. It happens like it's happened once or twice to me. But I'll wake up and that's what like I'll be laying on my side and all of a sudden I feel something in my ear and I'm like, what's going on? And it's like making its own way out.
I like watching the videos where they take like the water gun, the doctor, and they shoot it in the person's ear and they get the wax out. And then I say to myself, that person probably feels great. And that's how I know I have empathy. Is watching earwax videos. I'm like, this is how I know. This is my litmus test to see if I'm an empathetic person.
That probably felt so good.
I was like, I'm like, oh, and then you look at their face, like, oh, thank you. I'm like, blessed be.
Oh, God. I don't know why you just reminded me of this, but I refreshed my TikTok feed yesterday because I was tired of seeing the same old crap. Because I don't know if you knew you can do that. Like, you can go into your settings and you can completely reset your feed.
I just tell my phone. I just go, don't want to see these anymore, and then it resets itself.
You can, like, immediately do it with the click of a button. You just say, reset my FYP. And now all of a sudden I'm getting videos of, like, people removing ingrown toenails.
Oh, it's the worst. I had to get mine done. It hurts so bad.
I'm like, why am I getting these?
See, those are the videos that I wish people could smell because it smells so. When they take them out, it's the worst.
Oh,
they cut like I used to get them because I guess from like playing sports. Like I obviously tie my shoes pretty tight so they would grow in, and then they cut it and they like kill it. It stunk so bad.
Oh
Like,
God.
ugh, they take a big clipper. Ugh. The doc does it all day. Like imagine like podiatrists they go to school the same amount as any doctor, but I bet the most they do is probably cut ingrown toenails. I almost guarantee it.
Gross. I mean, I've gotten one or two in my life because of all the times I used to wear heels that come to a very like narrow point.
Yeah.
But you know, when I get a pedicure, they take care of that. They're never like that bad that they have to spray numbing ointment on it and then like cut my skin open. And
I do want to say I'm not knocking podiatrist. I will gladly cut toenails for like $500,000 a year.
oh God.
Right? Like I'll suck that smell right up. Not like slurp it, but like just suck
Oh,
up the
it's
smell.
gross. I don't know how
But,
30 minutes just went by of us talking about horrible movies and ingrown toenails.
and cigarettes. Cigarette music.
That is wild. I guess that's a good place to end it.
Oh, I do have a Friendsgiving this weekend, and I'm making like elote in the pan.
Hey.
But I bought a bag of 5 pounds of corn, and I think that might be too much.
Yeah, it might be.
It's a lot of corn. Everybody's gonna be not feeling well the next day.
Everyone's gonna be pooping corn.
That's what I like. It gets you going. Green tea and corn, the band and the vegetable. It's good, and it has like zero nutritional value. That's the funny part about it. That's it.
Oh gosh. All right. Well, we should probably say goodbye here.
Okay, I'll let you know how the corn goes.
Bye, mayonnaise.